Well, hello guys, and welcome back. So today's video is going to be centered and focused on setting up my March budget in my big size Happy Planner. And I don't know about you, but this is what got me into planning. And so I take the whole budgeting process very seriously. Um, I've this is going into my second year, and I have seen just tremendous results from last year. So I'm keeping that momentum going. And February, since we are going into March, February is always my toughest month to budget. So I am just really super excited to be going into March, and we're going to get back into actually making this budget do exactly what it's made to do, and that is to help me financially thrive. I will no longer just be attempting to survive. I'm going to actually thrive from here on to about, I'm going to say December, towards the middle of January. So I am excited because this is my favorite month to plan for. So if you are interested in setting up your own budget, please stick around and I will show you what and how I do this. Okay, so what I'm going to go ahead and start with is I take a list of what I have all written down for my bills that I'm projecting for the month. And I'm just going to enter them into the little categories that can be found on this month at a glance page. And so that I make sure that I don't miss any of them, I make sure that I check them off of that first list that I have, just because I have so many of them right now that I want to make sure that I'm carrying all of my children with me. So I'm still getting used to the category placement on this month at a glance. I had a different one last year, and I mean, I do like this one. I like that it's bright and colorful. It's just there's some categories that I don't really need, so I just cover them up with that white label sticky paper, and I write in what my household actually uses for, the month. So I'm just super dubbing this for yins because you don't really need to go, the whole time because budgeting is just it does take time to make sure that you're doing everything correctly. You're just not fancy hand lettering everything in. These are numbers and amounts and calculations, so you want to make sure that you get everything as correct as possible. And another thing that you may notice is I do round up when I'm doing the estimated projected cost, just so that I know that I'm going to be in the clear. It's better to round up and think that you're going to be under than it is to round down and realize that you really are under at the end of the month. So I'm almost finished up here, and we're going to get back to what we were doing. Okay, so as you can see, I went ahead and just stopped right where I was at. I put in my main bills, and the things that I left out included my major credit cards, which I have one, two, three, four, five, six, and then the two PayPals, so seven and eight. So I have eight major cards. Which is ridiculous hearing, but hear me out. Is last year, I believe the total I was starting with was 14 to 16 of them. So I've reduced it by 50%, but it's still a ridiculous amount and it's very hard to keep track of. So, with this being March and the month of my tax return, I'm going to go ahead and just project out how I'm spending that return and which way is going to give me the biggest boost in savings. So what I did is I went ahead and followed my Stebit program, which if you are unfamiliar with that, let me grab that real quick. Because it's like a must-have if you are trying to pay off your debts. And I started using this last year, and I went ahead and just made a new one for this year. And what Stebit does is you go ahead and you just enter in all of your bill information, including the APRs and your minimums and your balance, and it's going to print you off a report of how much you owe out totally in your debt. So there's no more guessing. You can't even sit and say that you don't know, because it's right in front of you now. And it gives you a recap, and it's going to show you how much it's going to take you to pay off your debts. Which, like I said, mine is a little crazy, but we're getting it down. And I haven't really been logging in here. I normally do. I'm a little, like I said, a little behind. But I'm going to go ahead and fill this out. I did at least keep this up today. I like watching the little green bar go across. And they do give you an electronic version, like it is an app. And so you do see the green bar going on your app. But I love the feel of pen and paper. So I just record what's going on that app. And a good example of this would be my payment towards Capella. Is that the first payment gave me 3%, which now I'm at a 7% paid off. So, you get to see your progress if you choose to do it this way. And the other thing that I love about the Stebit program is it not only gives you the summary and a breakdown of like, it's going to take you this long, but it gives you a step-by-step payoff plan. It tells you exactly what to pay, when to pay, and when you're going to have these items paid off. So in one way with my debts, I was like, okay, should I attack the giants first? Should I just try to remove a giant and then save on that minimum payment a month? Because, seriously, guys, like, look at this. My one minimum payment for one of these cards is $175 a month. That's that's like almost my month's worth of groceries. So, like, should I try to eliminate this thing? Which, of course, I can't because, my refund's not that large. But then I was thinking maybe I should just pay off half of it and then try to see if I would be approved for a 0% offer and then try to attack it down. And the more I looked at this, I was really only going to save like $100 to $150 a month. So I decided, what, they have it listed in this order for a reason. So let's just go ahead and just start adding up these little guys. Because, like I said, at first you're like, I'm going to get rid of these giants and I'm going to get rid of this major minimum payment. But I started wondering, why do they have it in here? Which this would be the snowball effect if you're attacking the little guys. Because, of course, in my mind, I'm thinking like, well, I'll just put $100 on this one and in 3 months it'll be paid off. Which is great. It's great. But I'm coming into a large amount of funds that I normally don't have access to. So I just got curious with the handy dandy calculator, which I don't know if any of you remember these, because we all use our phones, but I brought out the real calculator, and I just started going through what I pay each month for the minimum. And I started adding up my balances. So I started with the balance first, and I just started adding it up until I got to the total of my refund. And at first, I want to keep $1,000 off to the side as my safety net. And then once I added up the minimum payment and saw how much I can save per month just by paying these off in full, I'd just be an idiot. I would be an idiot not to do it. And this is the one that I'm questioning. In one way, I want to just go ahead and get rid of it and get it done with. In another way, I kind of don't like not having that safety net. So I may just do a half and half. But I mean, guys, like, look at that. That's how much more I can save a month if I just eliminate these from the get go. And it's going to be really nice just to see that these are done. They're over with. I don't have to worry about them anymore. And then this is the part that, like, really got me, because I can't remember the last time. I mean, we are going back to, like, oh man, like 15 years ago, to where I would have only had, because I'm not counting Capella, it's a school loan, but I would literally only have 4 credit cards to pay a month. Granted, the one is the Whopper, it's $175 a month, but I would literally only have 4 to track each month. That is just blowing my mind. Like, I just keep looking this over and I'm saying, no, you messed up something. This isn't right. There's no way possible, because I have never been this low since my early 20s. So, yeah, I mean, still, it's a lot per month, but with only having 4 of these, then maybe I can think about, you know what, that's a large balance. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can transfer even half of that over to a 0% card and knock that puppy out. And then that way the interest is not building, which apparently is what's killing me, is that I have so many of these payments due a month and the interest is so high that I'm literally fighting my way uphill. So I'm thinking this is it. Like, this is the breathing room, and I'm like actually so freaking super excited that this could possibly be eliminated by the end of this year. Because if you go through, which I'm hoping that you guys make yourself a debit account and do this, but if I go through what I'm supposed to pay, if I just stick with these ones up here and don't even worry about this one, I would be where I'm supposed to be at this December. So I'm technically like, I would be like 7 to 8 months ahead of my budget, which is just amazing. If I go ahead and attack the JCP one, I would be where I'm supposed to be at next year. That is March of 2021. So it is possible to get a large amount of your debt paid off if you take advantage of any large amounts of money that you have coming in. Like, I want to go out and spend so bad just because I normally don't get the chance to do that. Like, I want to buy all the big things. And with the new sticker releases coming out, I mean, you know, and you feel it too. Like, you're like, oh my God, I must go out and get them all. But being able to actually visualize what's going to happen if I actually spend correctly and how I should, this is it. Like, I would just literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because the steps are in months. This could be eliminated by the end of this year if I play the cards right. That is the motivation. That's the motivation that I need, because I would be eliminating this page, this page, this page, and this page. So we're going to go ahead, which, I mean, I am so sorry, but I am like, I am so sorry for like rambling on about this, but I am so freaking pumped about this after adding this up, going back through it and reviewing it, that just, which granted, it is going to take me till this December, but I could possibly be debt free of all my credit card debt by the end of this year. So I am pumped. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to write these ones down. I want to keep the ones that I'm going to be paying separately out of that fund. I want to list them separately so that they don't get mixed in with the other cards, which, let me bring out my February so that you can see what it is that I'm saying here. Is that normally I had them listed as pips, so I was kind of focusing on like 3 things at once, and now I'm going to reverse it And whatever it is that I'm getting paid off is going to go down here. And the ones that are left surviving are going to go up here under the credit cards. So this month is going to be fantastic. It's a little rocky going into it, but this is going to be a fantastic month. So let's go ahead and just fill out the rest of this, and then we can move on to our monthly setup. Okay, so here we go, just entering in that last bit of information, just trying to keep it all categorized out so that it doesn't kind of get all lost in the jumbled mess that I have going on. I'm just, again, I can't tell you how excited I am to know that it's gonna be down to 4. My mind is still blown. I'm still trying to cognitively understand and perceive that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish out and total up what it is I got going on here, and we're gonna move on to the next step of this, and it is a final month at a glance review to make sure that everything is right. Okay, so one final explanation before I do move on to the fun stuff is one thing that you may quickly notice and you're going, oh god girl, no, don't do that, is that my expenses do exceed my income, but that is because this year I'm doing the pay to pay instead of prepaying myself for the month before. And what normally happens is one of my paychecks come at the end of the month, and so you can't really use those funds for anything for that month, so it kind of carries over into the next month, which is what this is right here. But the reason why I'm not including that as an extra income, which I'm going to get to that next, is that because I'm trying to train myself to live within the 2 that do actually occur in that month instead of having to depend on what's going to get carried over. So I am trying to train myself to live on more, which I am getting a little bit better. This number is getting smaller. Thank you. But it's still, as you can see, I still have a lot to squeeze in with such a small income. So you just really have to get super creative on what it is that you're doing. And one thing that I did notice whenever I was starting to total this up is my car insurance is actually due this month, which I have it paid every 6 months. And so normally this is listed as an NA or a 0. And so I had to actually put the total that I'm going to be paying in, but I pay my car insurance out of a savings account that I made last year, so that I really don't even have to think about it. It's in a savings account. That's where it comes from. And at first I wasn't going to add it in. I was like, oh, these numbers are going to be really off. So I went ahead and just added that $300 into my extra income because I am going to be drawing that out of a savings account. So they're really going to nullify themselves. So technically I'm really only going to have to pay $21, even though I am paying this bill physically, but it's not actually going to come out of my account. So I figured I better just put that in there to cancel those out. And the other thing that you may be wondering is why I listed these as NAs. And it's the first part being is some of these would be listed as twice. So right here you can see Chase is listed, and Chase is listed down here again. The other one would be the phone, which is up here. So I didn't want to double list those. And the other reason being is these are the accounts that are going to get eliminated. So when I do actually punch in how much I'm going to pay off on them, it is not even going to be anywhere near close to the minimum, and it's going to look like I overspent when I didn't. So I'm also doing that as a visual, hey, this is different. This is more than just me trying to cover my minimum payments. This is my payoff list. So that's why I kept those as NAs. One, because I didn't want to double list them, and I want to keep them in a nice, neat list so that I can see what's going on. And to just because it's going to look like I overspent by a lot. So just learning from last year and how like this wonderful thing that can happen in March can turn into a budgeting nightmare if you don't prep for it properly on paper. So, just like I promised, we're going into the wonderful monthly layout now, the fun part that I love because you get to use all the stickers and the colors and decorate. Okay, ladies, so we finally made it back to the fun part, and this is going to be the section out of the undated big size budget monthly extension pack. Wow, that was a lot to say. If you have not seen the original budget extension pack, let me quick pull out a packet, which I just got on sale. I only paid $5 for this puppy at Michael's the other day. So it's an undated budget extension. It is the big size because I have a big size planner. But you end up getting a whole bunch of lovely little extras that's going to help you keep track of your bills. So I have that. The first thing that I'm going to do is get my March sticky, which, where did I keep those? I swear these are the hardest ones to keep track of. But here we go. Here's March. And I just did my nails the other day, so it is a little bit tricky for me to grab onto things. I'm still kind of getting used to the grip. But they look gorgeous. They're a shimmery green. Like I said, I'm all ready for March. March is for new growth and plants and seeing the grass again. And of course the green for money. So let's get this dated and get it officialized. There we are. We are ready for March. Look how easy that is. And the other thing that I'm loving about this month is the fact that Sunday's the 1st. So it's going to make filling this out so much more easier. Which, let's see here, do I want to use these? Yes, I do. We're going to go ahead and just use them up. Get them done with. I was going to use these other numbers that I have, but I'm into using what I got right in front of me. So, since this is a grueling process, I'm going to go ahead and stop right here, and then I'm going to dub the rest of this so that you don't have to sit here for like the next 15-20 minutes with me while I get this done. Okay, so here we go. We are going to go ahead and just put the rest of those little month-dated stickers down on the sheet. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love the fact that the budget extension pack is undated because you can pretty much start whenever your little heart desires. But putting on these little tiny stickers on every day is tiring and it takes forever. So thankfully, we have the power to dub this video. Alright, so now we're going to get into the fun part, which I have been promising you this whole entire time, and if you have made it this far into this video with me, I just want to give you a wonderful thank you. And I mean, I do just want to go ahead and just start these videos off with, oh, let's make this page pretty and wonderful and colorful and bright and happy, but the actual budgeting process is so important and I don't want to skip out on it with you. So again, thank you so much if you've stuck around this long, because this is now the fun part of your budget planner. So as you can see, I'm just basically taking out all of those monthly payments that we put on that month at a glance page, and I'm just creating like little bullets onto the days that I'm going to make sure that they're paid. Some of them don't actually match the actual payday. I just make it like a day or two before it's due, just because I like paying my bills in pairs with the amount that I have. As you can see, it makes it easier to track them, because if not, I think I would be paying a bill like almost every day. So this buddy system for my bills works for me. And I just realized that I would rather pay this one with DHP Inc. than I would the Capella. So Capella's going to go towards the end. It's not due until the 30th anyways. So I got all my bills listed out so that I can have a monthly view of seeing what and when it's due. And look how cute this little setup of stickers is. I think that little bumblebee is precious. So, yeah. And then the one thing that I realized that I forgot is my paydays. And now maybe since it's a visual now, you can actually like see what I meant by the paydays. That I'm going to get paid on the 28th of March. So technically it is an income for March. But I really can't do anything with those funds. And of course the same thing happened in February. So I mean, I have to include them in my income, but they're really not, spendable. So yeah, that's what I was getting at, is like the pay periods don't really line up with my bill needs. It would be nice if those were bumped up a week before, but they are not. It is coming. I want to say it's either in April or May when they finally start to line up. So yeah, just got to get through this last tough one. And I also track my credit score and how it's either declining or improving. So that's what the little calculator's for. And I just love these little quotes. They were so cute and precious looking. And they went with what I was discussing earlier. And I'm just going to decorate them up with some shamrocks, add some green. And that seems to be it, ladies. I'm going to go ahead and put this into my planner. And there's my little weekly logs. So, yeah. I know it is the last day of February, but I'm just going to go ahead, put this in here so that it's ready to go. I got one more day of February to complete. Look at that. And then we are ready to go for March. Budget happy. Oh my god, and all it took was a pen, a list of your bills, and a calculator. And of course, lots and lots of stickers. Tons of stickers. And again, don't forget to check out that Stebit app, because it is fantastic in helping you get your debt under control. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching, and check me out at stitchpiration.com.